Greetings and salutations, Dota fans. We're live here for our first ever edition of Reported, our new talk show here at the D2L. And, well, it's really early in the morning.
It is.
Really, really early. Did you end up staying all night in the office this morning, or all night last night, or, like here at the office, or did you actually go home?
I did. Me and Conrad cuddled and spooned on the futon.
Yeah, that's always good news. A lot of Super Smash Brothers then, I take it?
There was a lot of Super Smash Bros.
Yeah, you've got stoner eyes going right now. Very red-eyed.
It's very early.
I can't really say much. I was actually, if you can see, yeah, we're like 13 minutes late. That's totally my fault because I actually overslept a little bit. And
Fire
then,
Aaron. Hashtag Fire Aaron.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of folks who agree with you. But yeah, so we're underway. It's our first edition. Sure, there'll be hiccups. Sure, there'll be things that suck and things that go wrong. But for the most part, hopefully you guys will end up enjoying the show. For those who don't know us, I'm Aaron A.C. Chambers. I do our broadcasting here at the D2L for our various seasons for the Western Challenge that's going on now. And you, of course, well, you manage all of North American Dota, give or take, right?
No. No. I mean, there are other people out there that do good work.
No, but not as much as you, pretty much. So he's Charlie Yang, of course, Monolith, who manages EG and a variety of other teams and players and such across the board, more or less. So he'll be lending his insight, and we're just going to talk about stuff, man. We're going to try to treat this sort of like a radio-style talk show, and hopefully you guys will enjoy. We got a lot to cover heading forward. Of course, we're going to have open lines towards the end of the show, so make sure you stick around for that. A couple of fun segments, but leading things off, I mean, we're not going to quite get to spanning the globe yet, but the big news, obviously, of the week has been the announcement of the International 2014. First details out, it will be at Key Arena, as everyone pretty much expected. And, you know, you and I were kind of talking off camera, and we got a number of things we'll probably end up covering at some point throughout this. But, you know, how do you feel about what we know so far? I mean, granted, there's only so much to know. You and I actually had a very long conversation about the qualifying process.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I'm glad it's at a bigger venue. I'm glad things are growing and progressing. I think I mean, we'll get into it like later in the show, but yeah. I feel certain ways about the qualifying process. I think it's really interesting this time around, though. I think everybody has their favorites to get invites. I think the most interesting part, though, for me, is who are going to be those second place teams.
Right.
Who's going to be fighting it out at that? For the final qualifying spot in Seattle, and I think that'll be really interesting.
Yeah, it's, you know, looking ahead to it, I mean, obviously we still have a lot of details that we don't quite know as of yet, but I'm kind of on board with you. You know, the qualifying process a little bit different this time, and again, we'll get into probably a bigger and longer conversation about that moving forward, but especially with the details coming out now, everyone kind of knew. I mean, everyone figured it out. You know, we had you know, let's be honest. If you were behind the scenes like we were at the International last year, you just kind of knew it was going to be Key Arena. You know, we couldn't really talk about it, but, you know, we talked to Valve staffers, whatever. We knew that's what they were looking for. We didn't know for sure. But, you know, looking, you know, as we were moving forward, you know, right now is that core part of the year where teams are really making their case for their invites and for everything else. And you know, how do you feel in general about the way things have played out throughout spring so far? I mean, obviously, Team Liquid's been a big surprise, and Liquid fans not going to be happy with things. And the way they've turned out.
I think they should be. Their mood should be lifting now.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they went through a very long, probably very depressing slump for the better part of 3 months.
Right.
But you know, ever since that series against EG in the grand finals of Starladder qualifiers, they seem to be looking a lot better.
Yeah.
The movement from Demon to support and putting TC back in that carry position, I feel like it's really improved them.
Right. Well, you know, we actually got to see them in action yesterday, and to be honest, in the Western Challenge, I should say, in D2L. Right. And even though, let's be honest, it was a 2-0 and it was over pretty quickly.
Right.
It really was like night and day, basically, whenever you talk about just the way they play now versus how they were playing a month, you know, 30, 45 days ago.
Yeah, I think Jimmy has really rejuvenated their team. I mean, if
agree.
you like, Bulba has said Demon is really fun to play with.
Right.
And I think I think two things have changed with that team. Since they started trying out Demon, I think they finally decided, Jimmy, we're going to stick you on support. It's going to take TC too long to learn the role and to learn the movement. And so now you have Jimmy, you have Demon, and you have Way 2 both on support. People that know how to play that role and move around. And now you're seeing a lot more early rotations. The supports are doing a lot more early and even mid game with their time, and you're seeing that effect throughout the game. It's not just I won't say it's not just, but it's a lot less of Koitva going, all right, team, get on.
Exactly. Koitva's one of those guys who, and this even goes back to in Mal Sports when he was kind of ascending as a player. You're dead right. He's just one of those guys who it seemed like in so many cases, no matter what, he was always there to just toss him over the shoulder.
In Mouse, he also had Fado, who played a really
Great
solid
player.
puck.
Yeah. But yeah, Koitva, seeing him develop has been a real pleasure, and I feel like he's got to be one of the hottest. You can't call him a free agent; he's with Team Liquid. But in terms of young talent, like if you were drafting Dota players,
are you saying he will be a free agent?
I'm not saying anything. Not saying anything. I think whenever you're looking at young talent and you're maybe looking to draft for the future. Let's say you and I right now, we had every player in the world that we could draft a team around, but the issue is we get those players for 5 years, and we have to try and be as successful as we can across a span of 5 years, as opposed to just this year.
Okay.
I don't know that there are a lot better people that you can take than Koitva. I mean, obviously Arteezy's in that list, a few others, but he's young, he's motivated, and he has stuck it out through tough situations. And we've already seen him do that a couple of times. And I think, he's got to be one of the most valuable overall prospects in all of organized Dota right now. Would you agree?
Yeah, especially if you're a Liquid fan.
As I know you are, Mike. Anyway, guys, we got our Spanning the Globe segment coming up in just a moment. I think we've actually got bed music for that, though, to be honest. As I said, I was extremely late this morning, so #FireMe. But, yeah, it looks like our production guy, Conrad, who can do the firing instead of being fired this time, is actually going to be running our bed music. Spanning the Globe, just taking a look at what's going on throughout the whole world of Dota, and of course starting with the headline topics. Of course, the biggest story has been the release of the official decals regarding TI. We already talked a bit about that. Something that I hope we can get into a little bit when we look at Spanning the Globe is going to be ticket prices. We actually had a bit of a conversation about that. Prices will range from $100 to $500 and will go on sale this Friday.
I don't have a problem with the price.
Yeah, I think we both agree. I think there's a conversation to have about it, but even though there's a conversation to have about it, I agree with you. I don't think there's going to be any issue selling every one of those tickets.
I don't think so.
Very quickly. I think the only question is how quickly. Quickly.
This is a premium event.
Right.
It should cost a premium amount.
Well, and it's 3 days. When you look at the ticket price, you have to remember it's not like going to a Chili Peppers concert or something like that where you're paying $200 to go sit in a chair that is in the nosebleeds for an hour.
One of the best kept secrets of TI. Well, I don't know if it's really a secret, but the trip pays for itself. You go to that secret shop.
Oh yeah.
You wait in line. You get those electronic autographs. You buy the items from the shop. You get the codes. Those things are well more. I
gotta wonder, man. Like whenever you look on the Steam market, and you talk about like the autographs in particular. Like you see some like Dendy's goes for $200. Like how many of those have actually sold at that cost? Like I understand them being listed, but how many have actually sold?
I think I know some of my friends have sold a good amount on the Steam marketplace. I think some have even sold some on eBay. So I think they sell. I think they do sell. Now's probably not a good time to sell.
Probably not.
Probably right after the international.
Hey, you can still find my autograph on eBay. It's not quite. They're not on
Nobody
eBay,
wants
not
that.
on the market. Hey, people stood in line to meet me. They did.
They
did.
You threw me under the bus.
What? With what?
You called me a Subway enthusiast.
It's speaking truth. We'll come back to that.
I hope you kill yourself.
And one of the most electrifying matches of the year so far, EG was able to best Team Liquid on Monday and punch their ticket to Kiev for the Star Ladder final, coming out of the American qualifying region. Great match. Your thoughts?
Relieved.
Well,
I'm not gonna lie.
taking away manager Charlie Yang out of it, just making it Dota fan Charlie.
Okay, just Dota fan Charlie, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was really good to see. It was really good to see Team Liquid come back, get out of their slump. So this is the second thing I was referring to. I think they realized that the international is coming up. Qualifiers, they're going to have to qualify. And I think after all this time, it's sort of been like, what are we doing with our lives? We've been slumping for so long. We haven't done anything about it. It's time to really, all of this lit a fire under their ass. And so it's good to see them come back. It's good to see them playing better Dota. And I think it's also really good to see like the whole drama with the best of one advantage. It's good to see EG not let it affect them so much.
Right.
There's some angry tweets, but
angry tweets in Dota, no, no.
But they still pulled it out game one, despite being at a deficit, despite having a lot of young players and not having old man fear. They really showed a lot of fortitude in coming back.
Tell you what, they said they miss old man fear. We'll talk about this probably. We'll hint at it anyway. Young man Mason ain't exactly a bad replacement. He's winningest player in Dota right now, at least as of yesterday, with 20 or more games played in the last 60 days or so. I mean, his win percentage
less than 60 days.
Yeah, exactly. So he's kind of on fire, and certainly a big part of what EG has going on. Fanatics finally managed to notch another first-place win, but this time it was in a tournament that was Captain's Draft and not Captain's Mode. They walked away with the first-place finish in XMG's Captain's Draft Invitational, and that's only really marking their second first-place finish in about a year and a half, if not longer. You have to go all the way back to Thor to get another win of that caliber. So, I mean, it's nice to see them get a win, and something else we kind of touched on yesterday, you and I just kind of sitting around shooting the breeze, is the value of Captain's Draft as opposed to a Captain's Mode. And there's actually a thread on Reddit. I can see you've actually got Reddit up right now, you egotistical bastard. But I'm just saying, you're probably looking for things about us. But at any rate, we talked a little bit about it, and there was a thread on Reddit that was asking, hey, what's the perceived value of this? Everyone had a blast, and everyone really enjoyed seeing Suns fan and Synderen and all that. But, from a competitive point of view, what advantage do you think this actually offers, if any, to professional teams?
I think teams that have trouble developing drafts or are stuck in a sort of metagame, stuck inside the metagame box, or even teams that aren't. I think it offers a lot of insight into what could have been played.
Right.
I think it helps teams develop, new strategies. I mean, this current patch leaves so many heroes open to be picked. There's still a lot of things that haven't been explored.
Right.
Even now, you see a lot of things become really prominent, and certain things fall off.
Right.
And maybe they could be brought back. Like in that last EG Liquid game, Visage was not picked a single time, despite Visage players being very prominent on both teams.
Right.
So I think Captain's Draft is going to bring a lot of heroes back into the scene. And it's going to help a lot of teams that are
kind of set in their ways in a negative way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, one of the most common opinions that I read anyway, whether I'm browsing Reddit or whatever else, and especially as we're getting closer to the international, because we always see, the last 2 years have been basically the same thing, is things are really experimental, patch notes, patches change leading up to spring, then you get to spring and everyone goes, okay, time to gear up for TI. And they go, we're going to get good at this. Yeah, and everyone just, like you said, boxes themselves in is a really nice way to put it. And, I feel like this is a nice way for teams to maybe to discover they're not as bad with other less common things than they think they are.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the same time though, I don't think Captain's Draft is very balanced. Yeah, exactly. I don't think you can legitimately run it in a premier tournament. I think the prize pool for the XMG Captain's Draft was great. The teams that were playing it were premier.
Great field.
But it's not balanced.
Yeah.
You can probably like end up getting some like wonky ass pool where first pick is ridiculously overpowered. I don't know. You pick like the only lockdown.
Believe it or not, I actually saw this. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this was a really shocking stat to me that surprised me a lot. By the end of the tournament, I read this somewhere. Someone who represented, I want to say, worked with Dota Cinema or something like that, or no, actually, it was an amateur caster who ran the numbers. Apparently, first pick only won 48% of the time in XMG. I actually found that really surprising.
That is pretty surprising, actually. Yeah. I'd say, I don't know. I'd say we probably need to see more, but I think just the possibility of not having all the options open and still getting that one crazy like pool is it's not going to be like a competitive mode.
Right. I think we talked about it again yesterday, and we both kind of agreed on that. Was the idea that it's fun as a novelty. I think the reason it works now and the reason people enjoyed it so much now is there aren't like 5 of them going on. I feel like if there were 3 or 4 happening that were just taking place, and who knows, it may end up being that way, just because of the popularity of XMG. But I feel like it's a nice breather. It's a nice change of pace for folks who watch a lot of Captain's Mode.
I mean, mid sniper, offlane sniper.
Right. Offlane sniper. Yeah, I think that's fun. So moving on, forgot we had other news to do. We're actually running overtime, and that's me, running late all the time. Fragbite Masters actually gets underway today. It'll feature a 200,000 SEK prize pool, solid 16-field team. Fnatic and Team Liquid will both be in action, playing against 4 Friends and MYM respectively. So any thoughts on Fragbite?
I think I like what they do.
Yeah.
It's cool to see another Swedish tournament outside of DreamHack.
Right.
It's cool to see McDonald's involved in it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's I think that's like the standout factor for me. Getting a non-endemic sponsor into the space.
Yeah.
As far as that group, I'm gonna say it. I think Liquid is gonna come out on top in that group.
Really?
Yeah.
I would love to see it, man, and not just as a North American fan, but what a storyline this is heading in. And I don't think anyone should be unreasonable and expect like a top 3 finish out of them in TI, at least based on what we see right now. Not to say they couldn't possibly get there, but it's fun to root for guys who are struggling, especially, and we know them. We know the Liquid guys very well, and to see them beginning to kind of get their legs under them again and get going again in a positive direction. It's just exciting to watch, whether you're a North American fan, a Liquid fan, or otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they're a lot hungrier now.
Yeah, that's a good word. So, recap topics as we run over time. I will not be recapping the leagues. You can check those out on your own elsewhere. Of course, D2L, we have a match coming up later, as does Dream League. Star Ladder rolls on, etc., etc., etc. A couple of grab bag topics. This is something we were that kind of came up yesterday. We were just kind of messing around with Velt. I never heard of the guy. Hit 7,000 MMR.
Congrats.
Exactly. Just
Congrats, Terrorblade picker. Yeah, I actually have no idea if he's a Terrorblade. But
he actually has the old Brewmaster, I think, as his default showcase profile. Like he modded it or something, and has like the original model Brewmaster. It was all weird looking.
Okay.
What fun facts, man!
That's all
People
I have to
need
say
to know
you,
these things. This
Subway
is hard hit. Yeah, exactly. You want some spinach?
I hope you die.
Collegiate Star League. Oh, this is actually a bigger story that I think is getting in play for. It did get a fair amount of upvotes on Reddit, but the fact that there will be a Dota presence at Anaheim, after all, I mean, it's
it's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool. I mean, I think it shows more than anything that the MLG is really committed to having Dota at their events, and they want something there. They're committed to North American Dota.
Well, I don't know. I totally agree with everything. We know guys at MLG. They do love Dota. They love the community. I don't think this is MLG doing this. I think Star League has Collegiate Star League has a booth, and they're doing it on their.
Is that what you think it is?
I'm pretty
okay,
sure.
So they're not like.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and reread it, but it's not like MLG's like, oh, we have a free stage here, Collegiate Star League.
Okay.
As I understand it, it's going to be CSL's booth where they're having.
Okay, that's not the same. Okay.
Yes,
move on.
Slightly different, but
no, it's cool.
At any rate. Yeah, that's spanning the globe, and it's actually one of the things we're messing around with is getting in-ear monitoring. So hopefully the music's cut off by now, but it is 33 minutes after the hour. I'm AC, and this is Charlie, and you're tuned in to Reported here on twitch.tv/D2L, our maiden voyage, our pilot episode, and hopefully it's not too terrible so far. Dude, getting up this early might be the worst thing in history, especially when you wake up only to get screwed by public transit.
I blame him.
Yep, that guy.
That
guy.
I wanted, and I know a lot of people wanted me to have like a sunflower mask. I would have
put the ages in front of
I totally would have wore it and put it on, but it's also him. He didn't let me do it.
Such professional.
Yeah. But, it's how nifty is it? Every time I look back there, see the ages, and just get a can of Monster if we get thirsty. It's nice to have.
SCLLBOY. Yeah.
So our next segment is going to be called What Are the Odds? And hopefully you've got a copy of that back there, Conrad?
Copy of.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
Awesome. So you'll be posing it to us, Conrad Jansen, our producer. And full disclosure, we were supposed to have a guest right now. We were supposed to have someone call in. Things fell through. Doctor's appointments were made, and other things that are preventing us from having who we plan to have on phone in. So instead, it's going to be Conrad posing questions to us and hopefully making you guys laugh in the process. You all mic'd up?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's hit it. Make sure there's some cheeky music in the background,
Oh,
too.
this is on now.
There we
go. Now you can hear me.
There it is.
All right. So the first question that I have here is, let's see here. Team Liquid makes it to TI4, or Online Kingdom actually has a real squad?
You know, we just spent like the last 5-10 minutes building up Liquid.
Some shots.
Yeah. It's like, how do we like?
Okay, Team Liquid. I'm pretty sure Team Liquid is going to make it
Yeah.
to TI4,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure Online Kingdom is not going to actually have. Okay, no, they probably will, but I think it may be a stretch to call it a Dota team.
Yeah, they'll play
Actually,
Dota.
no, that's not fair. That's not fair.
There will be dudes who get in the lobbies and play Dota, and I think we have to you have to pick one. You can only have one. You can't say, well, I
think
both.
it's more likely that Team Liquid makes it to TI4.
Makes it two. Okay, now and here's the question. Makes it two TI4 as direct invite. Makes it two TI4 as a qualifier. Makes it two
qualifier.
Okay, then that's the thing. Like, are we including even wild cards?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Team Liquid is going to win the North American qualifier.
That
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I'm fine with that.
That's my prediction.
Good.
Put your rares on it now.
Exactly.
So wait, are you saying that they're not going to get invited?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think anybody's shocked.
Implying.
Shots implied.
Yeah.
Shots implied. Yo, that's shots fired at themselves. Sam told me. Me and Sam have been talking about this forever. He's like, we're not gonna get the invite, dude.
Yeah, because that's the face Sam makes.
All right, gentlemen. Here's the next question. Team Dog makes it to Seattle, or a Korean team makes it to Seattle?
That's fun. I think Dog's got a better chance than a Korean team, to be honest. It's tough.
Okay.
I mean, Dog's played well. I mean, you
Let's-
can't argue with some of their wins.
I mean, I think there's no question that Dog is a stronger team.
Yeah.
So, but let's like
Full
map
picture
it.
it.
Yeah, map it out. So, if we take Dog now, they're a European team.
Right.
They're gonna have to play in the European qualifiers.
Right.
I think Roxkiss. If I had to put money on a team to be in the qualifiers and win in the qualifiers, out of the European teams, I would pick Roxkiss.
Rox is deceptively strong.
It would
all
be
the time.
It would be Roxkiss or it would be Fnatic, and I think either of those two teams have the pedigree and the experience and I guess the skill right now to probably be better than Dog.
Right.
In now and probably a month, 2 months down the line. Just because they've been together longer.
Right.
Like Fnatic has been together for like 50 years. For about as about as long as Fear's been playing Dota. So I would give it. So I would say Roxkiss wins the EU qualifier. Now, does Dog get second? I think that's the question.
Yeah, exactly.
Does Dog get second? They have to fight up against VP, Sigma.
I would pick Dog against both those teams right off the bat. I'd have to. They've played so well, man. Like, you know, it's.
I mean,
how do you not?
It's like, I feel like it's a coin toss.
I don't like. I don't know. I mean, it's not to say that Sigma and VP Sigma's fallen off hard, man. Let's be honest. I mean, like, in terms of recent performance and.
I mean, they've gotten some wins in.
Yeah,
they have.
They have, but I don't know. Like, it's a conversation for another time. But like, yeah, against those two teams right off the bat, though, if I had to pick one, I would pick Dog. I would. I don't.
Well, you're a Subway eater, so Korea. Korea's going to be in C. I think the C invite is either Scythe or Titan.
Yep.
And then whoever doesn't get the invite is probably going to win the qualifier.
Right.
So, does Korea get second? Is the question. Does Zephyr MVP, whatever, get second, or does something like Mineski?
Let's see. Like, would you even count Zephyr as a Korean team though?
I think Zephyr is going to be counted as a Korean team.
Well, I know they will be because they're regionally based there. But I'm talking like I don't know, like the essence of the question, I guess, is like, are you talking about like just any team coming out of the Korean qualifier period? Or is it going to be like basically a team of Koreans, for lack of a better way?
Oh, no. It's going to be anybody coming out of the Korean scene.
Okay,
right
then, I don't know. It's tough. I mean,
actually,
Zephyr,
I'm going to say Dog has a better chance now that I think about it.
Yeah, I like Dog. I do. I think Dog has a better shot. Next question.
Kill yourself while you're at it.
Sorry, I thought you guys were going to go further with that. TI4 sells all their tickets, or the average price of a scalped VIP pass is over $1,000.
So at TI4, so the question is, TI4 sells out all tickets, all of them, on day one.
Day one.
Or the average scalped price of a VIP ticket is greater than $1,000.
The latter.
Yeah.
Hands down the ladder.
Exactly.
Hands down the ladder. I don't know if TI4 will sell out all their tickets in day one.
I think they will.
I think they'll definitely sell out all their tickets.
Yeah.
But I think VIP prices are easily going to be more than $1,000.
There's no doubt about it that it will sell out by the time all's said and done. Selling out on day one is tough for a 17,000 person event. And I think, and this kind of comes back to what we were talking about, the pricing model. Like, there are going to be VIP tickets that I think go unclaimed for at least 24 hours. Just because it's a high price. And it's worth it, but it's still a high price.
Well, here's the thing. I think a lot of people are going to buy them. And if you didn't know how it worked last year, so VIP right now gives you access to the group stages. On top of everything else, I think this is the most important thing. It gives you access to the group, 6 days?
Yeah.
Around the 6 days of group stages. Last year, during group stages, if you were there, you more or less had unrestricted access to players.
You could just about literally eat breakfast with them. Like,
Yeah,
literally walk up and be
much.
like, sup, din, sit down, let's eat my eggs.
Yeah. I mean, there were so many people going in and out of the area where the players were eating and watching the games and the group stage area thing.
Right.
If you weren't anybody actually that was supposed to be there, nobody would have really known.
Exactly.
So, like, how it was last year is you have access to the group stage. You have 6 days of pretty much unrestricted access to the players.
Yeah. Well, and this brings up a question that we had kind of batted back and forth is, I don't know how many VIP passes are being sold, but I would imagine if it gives you that much access, there's going to be much stricter control over these aspects.
I think it'll probably be different this time around. Group stages might be a little different. You probably won't have that. It probably won't give you that much access.
Right.
As much access.
Last year would have been the year.
Oh yeah. Last year would have been. You would have
literally eating your open-faced sandwich at 8 a.m. with these players.
I mean, you would have gotten free food too.
Exactly.
All the food you wanted.
It's worth it for the food alone, man. Next one.
All right. Someone hits 8K MMR in the next year, or will in-house leagues make a comeback?
Sorry, IX Mike.
Heart
sorry,
you, brother.
Mike.
Not happening. Not happening. I agree. I think it's AKMMR. I think in-house leagues. What I think is going to end up, and it depends on how you define in-house leagues. If I had to make a prediction as to what I think we're going to see like rise in the next year or so, that would be a little bit of a spin-off on that. Is like, I'm sure there are players that are watching right now that have played like the Alienware Arena, where you make a team, you sign up, and it automatically spits out matches. I think we're going to see more things like that end up happening.
Probably. I think. Here's the thing. I think matchmaking is going to get better.
I hope.
And that's why in-house leagues are not going to come back.
Yeah.
And then I think 8K rating is fairly likely. You just saw someone hit 7K.
Yeah.
And he did it by, I think in the thread he said, he tried really, really hard and he worked with his teammates. And I think like people that are going to want to stroke that EP-ing a lot, they're going to work that hard.
Yeah.
And at a certain level, I think like past maybe 6.5K or whatever, you're going to get the same players in your games anyway. So as long as you're consistently winning, your MMR will keep on going up.
Yeah, I honestly, it's like so far as matchmaking, I joke, I say, I hope it gets better. I think there's just so much open-ended. So there's so much that remains open-ended in terms of the way people can creatively serve other Dota players. And like you said, reading his thread about wanting to work with other players, and we're actually running out of time, believe it or not. And there's a Dream League match that starts at 9:30 our time, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can go a little bit over. I think that's our main thing. But anyway, but yeah, I think I love the term try hard. I really, really love it because I am such a try hard man. I'm a fail hard too, but I try like hell, and I love.
Yeah, I know. I played with you.
Yeah. Why don't you go pick Pudge and miss hooks more?
Are you kidding me? I wrecked.
No, you did. Oh my God, you did not wreck that game.
I wrecked.
I was playing with my friends that I had to teach Dota. Me teaching Dota is something.
We won.
Yeah, you won. You were playing with like office guys who work at esports. I'm playing with.
Are you kidding me?
All
these
these
people
insurance
suck.
salesmen. I'm playing with an insurance salesman.
They're
Insurance
all
salesman. Insurance salesman.
Kill yourself.
29 years old.
Conrad.
What?
Nothing.
The next one.
Yeah, that's what we need.
All right. More likely that 1437 and Brax find their esports success in Dota 2 or League of Legends.
Can we get the rifles up, because I think that's maybe shots fired a little bit.
1437 and Brax.
They have been. Well, I mean, let's give some context here. I actually didn't know this. I know both the guys. I like Brax and Thiemann a lot. Are they playing League? Like semi-serious?
They have been playing League. They have also been playing Dota lately, I think. So
I haven't seen. Are they like legit at League, or are they just
I have
like
no idea.
jack-arounds at League?
I have no idea. They might be okay.
Everyone that's watching, tweet at Brax and Thiemann and ask them via us if they're going to be playing League or Dota. We want to know. We want to know.
This is actually really hard for me to answer.
I have no idea. Like, I know both the guys. I had no idea they were playing League or Dota, or they were playing League instead of Dota.
I think it's still more likely that they're going to find esports success playing Dota.
Nothing funny to say at all. Like you're just going to sum it up with a very concise thesis, even though this is like a very, very belligerent question.
That's all I got, man.
It's too early. It's too early. Need to get you some Pete's coffee from around the corner. You ever had Pete's coffee?
I have had Pete's coffee.
I never have. I've walked past it like at this point hundreds of times, and I've never ducked my head inside to get a cup. Is it worthwhile, or is it trendy BS?
If you really, it's like Starbucks. It's Starbucks.
Okay, then it's trendy BS. Got it.
Are you one of those? Are you a coffee hipster? Do
No,
you go like buy your beans
$5
from
a cup for
Intelligentsia?
coffee is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's a pack of cigarettes in a major city. Like, think about it. What would you rather have? Would you rather have a Little Caesars pizza? Would you rather have a pack of cigarettes? Or would you rather have a little itty-bitty cup of sugar water?
Dude,
It's simple economics.
on my
This is
mood.
nerd economics. Cigarettes, pizza, or sugar water. Not even good sugar water, like thick sugar water that makes you crash later.
All right, whatever.
Moving on. Connie, next up.
Wah. Who is more likely to come out of retirement, HY or Vigos?
Isn't HY? I remember seeing when
He's
an actor, isn't he? Like he's like his IMDb has him listed in something else.
Really?
Yeah, like I can't remember. Like you can pull it up. I mean, you've got yours.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's got a couple extra credits, but
yeah,
I believe he is doing military service.
Yeah, he's in the military right now.
I mean,
I don't know what he's gonna do when he comes back, but
hey, he should be like Boxer in StarCraft and start an all-military Dota team.
I don't know if that's gonna. Boxer was like.
Boxer was royalty, is what he was.
He was literally called the Emperor.
Yeah, like
HY
by people in the military. Think about that. Like that's amazing.
Got his girlfriend back.
Yeah, exactly. High five to you, HY. Give you the heart symbol as well.
I have no idea who's gonna. Probably Vigos. I'm just gonna say Vigos.
Vigos. I think that was more a troll question. I'm gonna say HY because I like to be different. I like to argue with you. So, yeah, go get.
Just die.
What are we having for lunch today? I'm not sure. Can we get a Subway order? Extra spinach for this guy. We're gonna get you to tell that story on air sometime. You know that.
It's a long story.
The way you tell it. It's a long. Charlie's story is this: thesis. Went to Subway, got screwed by an employee, never wanted to go back again.
That's not. How are you gonna boil down my pain to that?
But that's the story.
I hope you just fucking kill yourself.
Right.
Go on.
We got time for one more, Conrad. Pick us one more.
All right. We got tonight, or later today, I guess, depending on where you are in the world. The Russian D2L stream pulls twice as many viewers as the English stream for Na'Vi versus Empire. This is a little related to myself, I guess.
This is an awful fucking question.
You're an awful fucking person, so...
I hope you kill yourself,
We never did write... There never was a second half written to that. That's just like a statement. That's not a question.
Yeah, I know.
Or we'll...
Fire Conrad.
You know, I wish I had my camera up so I could just tell you to... Never mind.
Go to the last one. The last one.
But who's better at the respective game, Aaron at Guilty Gear or Charlie at Smash?
I would.
This
wreck
is an
you
awful
to
question
death.
too.
This is actually just a biased question. I'm actually pretty sure. I mean, I've never seen you play Guilty Gear, Aaron. Dude, but Charlie is really good at Smash Bros.
I am not really good at Smash.
But I am at the same level, so I don't know how good he is. So.
I hope.
Well, I'll put it this way. At this point in time, I haven't played Guilty Gear in like a couple years. So honestly, at this point in time, you are for sure probably better at Smash Brothers than I am at Guilty Gear.
At probably any point in time.
All right. We have a Wii. We have this big-ass projector back there. And this is one of the awesome things about working in an esports office. We have a big projector that's like, what, 10 feet wide, 12 feet wide?
Yeah.
It's like a screen. It's like 12,
pretty hefty.
Yeah, it's like 12 feet wide and like 6 feet tall. And outside of watching like matches and stuff whenever we're back in the office area, we also have a Wii hooked up to it thanks to Miss Anna Prosser. And I will buy Guilty Gear for the Wii, and I will give you time to get decent, and then I will show you how awful you actually are.
I don't have time to get decent at...
Get good at Smash first, bro.
You're good at...
Yeah, I know. I need to get good at that first. I have to beat Hophead. I already beat him once. I can't let him beat me again.
All right, guys, that'll bring it into to that segment. And yeah, we're kind of winding down. We're at 10 till the hour. And as I said earlier, Fragbite gets underway coming up shortly.
Okay.
I think the first match in that, I actually can't remember. I'd have to check it. But yeah, they get underway in about 10 minutes. And then Dream League starts in about 40 minutes. So make sure you check out all of those streams. Looking ahead, for right now, we're going to get ready to get set up for open lines. So we're going to see how it goes. We've never done anything like this via the way we're doing it. Conrad, since you've got a mic, you want to fill them in on how they can reach us?
All right, I'm about to put up a phone number and a Skype that you can call, and feel free to hit these guys up. And there's the open phones. Other than that, you guys can, I think, BS for now and continue on, go doing whatever you do.
All right. So hopefully we'll get someone in. If not, if you guys don't call, that's fine, because this is honestly kind of our pilot edition. We announced it with... I'm not going to put this in yet because this is just annoying.
This doesn't. This won't go in.
What won't go in?
This earbud.
Why are your ears too small?
Are you putting it wrong?
I don't know. Maybe it worked. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, we got a phone number up, and hopefully we'll get this figured out. Yeah, this is kind of our pilot edition. Not even sure if folks are going to call. I mean, there are literally like entire regional talk shows that you can listen to in the morning that don't get callers sometimes. So it could just be us shooting the breeze for the next, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so. But yeah, what are some of the things we talked about covering before? What are you doing?
I'm trying to put this in, man. What if somebody calls? Oh, look, we got somebody calling.
All right, good. Let's see what we can make happen here. Hopefully, we all good to go. Conrad, go ahead. Okay. Hello, welcome to Reported.
Oh, hi. First time caller, glad to be on.
Long time listener, right? First time caller, long time listener.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Welcome on,
hi.
man.
Hi, Conrad. So I was, I know you guys brushed on the CSL at MLG just really briefly, but
Is this working?
so how come you guys aren't more excited about that? I mean, granted, it is in a huge month of like tournaments and stuff. Like obviously, TI is coming up like shortly thereafter, but like, do you guys are not hype at all for it?
It looks like Charlie's not getting the audio. I think I'm gonna end up having to. 1 second, I hear your question. We're gonna have to end up figuring something to go on.
Also, Aaron, can you mute the Skype?
Oh, yeah.
Am I stupid?
In just a minute. But anyway, to answer your question, my friend, just because he is nice enough to be on the call with us while every other technical issue gets sorted out. It's not that we're not excited. I thought it was really cool. Like I added it to the report. I actually saw I got a lot of upvotes on Reddit as well. I do think it's really nifty, but to be honest, I just haven't kept up with the Collegiate Star League at all. I have no sense of context, no idea what, if any, storylines are there. I'm probably not going to be there to the best of my knowledge. And it's one of those things like, I think it's awesome that MLG will end up having a Dota presence. I just, from a standpoint of a caster and all that, all I can really do is point that to folks and be like, yeah, let's wait and see what happens. So I think it's, like you said, it's happening in a big month and it's happening in a big, very busy time of the year right now. But I think it's going to go great. And I think I'm really excited for the CSL guys. I mean, anyone who's adding value to the community that way deserves a pat on the back. And they have really, really pushed it in terms of their own investment of dedication and time. And yeah, the fact that they get to have their own first live event, there's nothing like the first LAN, so I'm sure they're going to end up having a lot of fun. So thanks very much for your call, David, and we'll move on to our next one. And apparently I have to mute Skype. Not sure why. There we go. That should hopefully take care of that. And so yeah, first successful call, even though Charlie didn't hear it. But by the way, if you want to chime in, he just basically asked about CSL, Collegiate Star League at MLG. And he's basically.
All I know is that UT Austin are the favorites. Maybe.
No idea.
Maybe.
No clue. No clue.
I think somebody I know is on that team. Maybe.
And do we have a way for Charlie to get audio in here, Conrad?
Well, I don't know if Charlie logs into Skype and then ends up.
I don't have internet right now.
Well, the same password that's all the other Wi-Fi's.
It's not working. No, like I don't have internet.
We have Steve on the line while these two jackasses argue.
Just feel free to.
Steve, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Welcome on, Steve. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. I have a question that I'm not sure will go down too well.
All right.
But it's a shots fired kind of question. But
all right.
I happen to think that whenever any large tournaments are going on for League of Legends, that there is quite a lot of view botting going on for certain streams. And I've also noticed that this only really happens when there's a Dota tournament going on at the same time. Now, I've not got proof. This is just me.
Your view botting was the word you used, right? View botting?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure I heard you correctly. Continue.
Yeah, what they're doing is, if you go into the chat sometimes, you'll be able to see the viewers are all called like AA11, AA12 at the start, going down to like ZZ65 kind of thing.
Wow.
So it's going up to like in the thousands. Now, obviously, the League of Legends is a popular game. Nobody can dispute this, but I'm just wondering if you feel that maybe Riot are trying to hype their own game in a way, so to speak.
I honestly, I occasionally, when I say occasionally, I mean once every 2 or 3 months, we'll turn on a League of Legends tournament just to check in and see what's going on, or maybe it's just bored. There's literally no one else on playing StarCraft or Dota. To answer your question, like I have no idea what how viewbotting works or anything like that. I can say definitively, at least in my opinion, that Riot has no reason to viewbot their own matches. If I had to guess, if that is going on, and you seem to know exactly what you're talking about, so I have no reason to doubt you. But if that is going on, I can't imagine that a company that made more than $500 million next year is going to quibble over a few thousand viewers. Like, so if it is happening, I don't think it's Riot. If I had to guess, it's probably, chances are it's either players who are doing it for whatever reason. Maybe they get something out of it. Or what's the number one rule in the universe? If there's something to exploit, someone's going to find a way to scam it. So who the hell knows, man?
That's true.
It could be anyone. Someone that's just found a loophole. But I'm going to pass this along to Charlie because he's too stupid to turn his Skype on.
Yo, kill yourself. Both of you kill yourselves.
Charlie's grumpy. Charlie hasn't had his, he needs a nappy and hasn't had his cookie this morning. The question was, to sum it up, and I don't know if you've noticed, do you watch any other streams, like other than Dota?
Yes.
Okay, do you ever watch League?
Maybe.
Maybe? You're afraid to admit it on air, afraid you're going to get blasted?
Maybe.
Okay, moving on. I said occasionally I do, and when I said like literally once or twice a month, at most. But anyway.
Oh my God, Blitzcrank Cook.
Exactly, Blitzcrank Cook.
Why did I do that?
The fist?
Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I'm gonna turn around and shame.
No. We have a question. Someone's waiting, Charlie. Come on, grumpy butt. Anyway, view botting. You ever noticed it in Twitch streams?
Yes, yes, I have.
In League Twitch.
I don't think so.
Well, that was his question. It was basically he's noticed that there are like account names like AA1, AA2, AA3, up into the thousands. And his question was, do we think that Riot was doing it or whatever? And
I doubt it. I mean, do they really need to?
Exactly. That was my point. So thank you very much for your call, my friend Steve. It's been a pleasure having you on, and hope you'll call back next week, all right?
I'm sure I will.
Yep,
See you later.
That was Steve, and this is actually going all right. I've never, ever done a call-in show like this, and on Skype anyway. I'm used to having phone lines and all that. We are getting, we're at the top of the hour. Do you want to keep it rolling? I mean, this is our scheduled cutoff time since we started late because I was late. We'll keep it rolling for 15 minutes, Conrad?
I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Streaming. I mean, there's already Starladder happening right now, so
all right, cool. Who's playing in Starladder?
Everybody.
The whole universe. Everyone in the world is playing.
How do I make this work?
I'll fix it for you after.
I think my Skype crashed literally. Yeah, it did. Oh, it's memory leaking. Good. You ever had a Skype memory leak?
No.
I could tell. It used to happen to me. Like I don't know if it's a certain. I don't know what causes it, but I do know that. Like basically, it starts out like running in the background and requiring like 115,000, whatever. So far as like the memory,
Are you playing footsie with me?
What's the matter,
Stop
buddy?
it.
I like those shoes, nice and white. Can I get them nice and dirty?
What's your problem, dude?
You're fun to pick on because you're grumpy. You're like a grumpy dog in the morning, like an old dog who just when you poke it, it growls, but it's funny because it's not actually going to bite you. It just wants to growl.
One day, I'm gonna bite.
So you can't even flame me. You're so tired. You can't even flame me. Look at him hide his face. Yeah.
Can I have a fucking sunflower? Producer.
I don't know. Can you be a good host?
Hey, we're talent. Talent needs something.
I need a sunflower.
I need you to be a good host right now. Thank you.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, Skype definitely did crash, by the way. And I'll try to restart it again. So talk about something entertaining while I work out technical issues.
All right, well, I'll talk about the viewbotting thing on the technical side here.
Yeah, there you go. That's
okay.
good. Yeah, you're a fun voice to hear.
So in terms of viewbotting, unfortunately, there is actually no definitive proof way to sort of like prove that sort of stuff. I know, yeah, you look at bots and you look at names, and I think a lot of those people are just trying to get names into sort of how to describe, just to be able to chat, or because you have to attach your Facebook profile actually to some of those things. So you make fake everything, and then you just end up using it so you can chat in the Riot stream, which is kind of cool. It's good. It reduces like the flaming and all that sort of stuff that actually happens a lot on Dota streams. but could we say that it's actual view botting? I can't confirm that. You know, I don't think there's actually a way to have definitive proof that that's actually an issue. But I don't know. That's just me.
All right, guys. Lines are back open. That's how I'm going to phrase that. In other words, I restarted Skype. And it was Memory League, by the way. Like, Skype had ballooned to more than 1 million bits or whatever. Like, whenever you Control-Alt-Delete, you get your...
You've ballooned to more than 1 million
Shut
bits.
up. I have actually lost weight. Shut up. Don't make fun of my weight. That's not funny.
I
am a large man.
It wasn't about...
How do you feel, Charlie?
See, you took it too far. You're hurting feelings.
It wasn't about that. I said bits. I said bits.
You said I have ballooned. That's mean.
No, to more than one.
Why do you want to hurt me? Why do you do this to me? Why do you hurt me like this?
I told you I was gonna bite.
Luca, you're on. Hi, how are you?
Hey AC, I'm good.
Good to have you on, my friend. What's your question?
I was wondering, how much Monster Energy would you recommend I drink every day if I want to be a better gamer?
Honestly, I'm
not gonna like this, am I?
HyperX is Monster's awesome, and I, in full disclosure, as bad as it is for me, I drink the rehabs. Actually, they're like easier on me. But it reminds me, like, this question just made me remember Bryce. What Bryce was eating? Like, Bryce, he's a StarCraft 2 player. His name's Machine. He was drinking like 4 cans a day, like 4 big cans a day, something like that.
Maybe it wasn't 4, but he drank a lot of Monster.
Yeah, like
and then
lot of Monster.
You know who actually apparently drank ridiculous amounts of Monster?
Who's that?
Sexy Bambo. When he was at the EG house,
really?
He would drink like 3 of those things, 3 of the big ones, in the morning, and he'd have Cheetos.
Cheetos and Monster
I think
Energy.
that would be his meal.
That's.
I wish I had this old photo of his desk from back in the day. It's literally just covered the entirety of his desk. So imagine the size of sort of whatever's in front of you right there, both of you combined,
right?
Just covered in Monster cans, and he kind of like to keep it around because it's kind of his prize. Good times. I miss you, Alan.
Good times in the gamer's house. But anyway, to answer your question, Luca, I would drink Monster anytime you need to pick me up because it is the world's best energy drink. I would not drink 4 cans a day or your kidneys will shut down. So thanks for the call, my friend, and best of luck in Dota.
Thanks. Keep on rocking in the free world.
In the free world. We are in America, the home of freedom, where freedom comes from. Thanks, brother. Next call coming up. As soon as somebody calls in, open lines now. Luca was our one fellow. So make sure you do whatever. Conrad, yeah, there it is. Make sure you give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. But yeah, I love Monster in general, but I can actually tell a brief story. I'm not going to lie. It's a problem. I have problems at home with the missus, with the lady friend. Before we got back together, she became a Red Bull fan. She did. And of course, what do I keep in the house? Monster. And when we go to bars and we want to get our crunk on, we want to get crunktacular.
Well, bars don't sell Monster. So
yeah, you can order a Monster and vodka.
You can order a Monster and vodka.
Yep, and the good bars will have it.
Really?
Yep. Or they'll just pull Red Bull and lie to you. I know one of the two.
They're very different things.
Yeah. See, I agree. We did a blind taste test. Like, basically, you know how it is. You have a girlfriend.
This is getting so sellouty.
So what?
So sellouty.
Like, you do like a blind taste test. And yeah, we did like a bunch of rounds of it, and there were a few times, like, even though I was on the money with my Monster selection most of the time, it was close. It was close. There were a few times I got it wrong, but she got it wrong routinely. She did prefer Monster Energy over. I mean, and I love how you're saying this is so sellout when we've got the Aegis of the freaking Immortal on top of a Monster Energy.
You want to just take one out and drink one? Right
yeah,
now?
I do actually. I'm kind of thirsty. Hang on one second.
All right, gentlemen. Since there's no questions at the moment, I think I'll ask you something here.
All right.
What about Liquid versus EG Game 3? That match. I don't know if all of you saw it. Pretty hype. I assume you saw it, Charlie. It's kind of your job.
I did.
You did? You did?
Well, yes, I did. Of course I did.
Of course you did.
I was right behind Universe while he was playing.
And so, like, yeah, tell me a little bit about it. Like, sort of maybe the experience of, like, being behind Universe and, like, that game was intense to the end of it.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, obviously the first 40 minutes, a little boring, maybe not, like, the best Dota game, and then, like, the last 20 minutes of the, like, craziest Dota I've seen in a long time.
again, relieved. For the most part, I was pretty confident that they were going to pull it out. There were certain moments where I thought, oh my god, they could lose here. But for the most part, and I felt it, and I think a lot of them felt it, that this was their game. This is their trip to Kiev, and they're going to pull it out here. So I think it looked really nerve-wracking, but it was stressful for them, a little nerve-wracking for me. It was really crazy. I don't know. What do you want me to say, Connie?
He wants you to say that you knew it was going to happen and that you were flaming TL immediately after. Well, what was the phrase that you use so often? You'd like to drink the tears, to lap them up out of your hands.
I love drinking. No. I'm just gonna drink a Monster.
There you
right
go.
now.
This helps, dude. At 9 in the morning. We do have a cast coming up later today, by the way, and totally being jerks and.
Make sure to keep up with the Skype in case somebody's calling.
Oh no, I'm watching. We had a bunch of calls and Skype crashed. It sucks. So hopefully you guys will still give us a call. 415-800-8559. That's 415-800-8559. Open lines. Feel free to jump on at any point. But broadcast coming up today should be a good one. Na'Vi taking on Empire. What? You all right? You all right?
I have problems.
Let me get you something to drink. This is the Tor water. This isn't like regular Monster.
I choked. All right.
All right.
Why did I come on this show?
It is early, and I think we both are regretting our decision. 10 after the hour, and don't forget Frag by Masters, I think just got underway. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you check out what's going on at Star Ladder, and of course, going on elsewhere. I hear Conrad laughing. What's so funny?
I'm laughing at Charlie choking.
Yeah, on Tor water.
Why
on
is that
Tor water.
You can choke on water, all right? It went down the wrong pipe. What do you want?
Charlie's mad.
What do you want?
Charlie's mad.
Look, I can do it.
How about this? Let's talk about your guys' predictions for the TI4 invites. There's 11 teams. This question was asked by Nezira.
Yeah, that's
I'm taking something from chat. I mean, chat's a little calm, so
okay,
it's acceptable.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So from the West, Alliance, probably Fnatic, Na'Vi, Empire, EG, Cloud9. There's 6, and then from the East, it'll be LGD, IG, VG, DK, and probably Titan.
Titan, you think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically Orange from last year.
Right.
And then I think it'll be those 5. And then qualifier predictions, I think Newbie will win China, Liquid will win North America. I'll say Roxkiss wins Europe.
I like that pick actually a lot. You can't count them out, man. You just like.
I mean, the case could be argued that they deserve an invite.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, yeah.
When you there are just some teams that when you watch them, you know, they're marching to a different beat. Like when you watch, Na'Vi, Fnatic, they all have their own distinctive styles. They all have their own hero pools. But generally speaking, all things considered, they're kind of still in the same metagame box, just to use the phrase that you used before, at least in the same general vicinity. Whereas when I watch Roxkiss, I have no idea what I'm going to see whatsoever. Yeah. And I think a team like that always is going to have a chance to win.
That's what happens when you have Goldblock as your captain.
Yeah. One of the most insightful hours I ever spent Dota-wise, just helping me understand Dota better and think about Dota in a different way, was coming home from DreamHack Summer last year, and was going through the airport, whatever, and got me some Swedish fish because that's what you do in Sweden. And
like actual Swedish fish, like a candy?
yeah,
or,
the candy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was walking through the airport with a goddamn halibut over my
Yo,
shoulder.
I don't know. Swedish people they have the pickled herring things. It's super salty,
okay.
kind of gross, really slimy.
Delicious,
Really?
says Conrad. Shut up, Canadian. Go back to where it's cold. It's all you cold people like terrible food. Terrible food. But anyway, but yeah, like, it just so happened that we were on the same connecting flight through Paris.
Okay.
And just getting to sit and talk to him, like, just pick his brain for an hour leading up to the flight, like, the guy's a genius. And it's not like genius is in he knows so much. And I think that's where, like, depending on what your own opinion on the matter is and conceptions and stuff, you can say, oh, this person knows every detail about every ability. But just the way Goldblack thinks about the game, whenever he would say...
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, just like, well, what would you do here? He just say, oh, it's simple. And he gives you an answer. It's like, huh. Like, that's usually the response you get when you talk to him. It's just, huh. It's like, yeah, it does make sense. So, but, yeah, continue. Your prediction.
Oh, yeah, Roxkiss. And then I think Scythe will win the C qualifiers. Mm-hmm. Scythe or Titan, like whoever doesn't get the invite is going to win the qualifiers.
I agree with you on there.
And then, so I think, and then it gets hard when you get down to the second place teams.
Yep.
The four that are going to make it to Seattle, and play in the qualifier there. Mm-hmm. From North America, I will say. I'll say Revenge.
I like it.
I'll say Revenge.
I like it.
I'll say Revenge.
Is that trendy pick? Is that like you got that grin on going? I'm saying things
I
just
mean,
to make Twitter get mad at me.
No, I don't think Twitter is going to get mad at me for that. They're playing really solid.
They have been looking good for sure.
And I think the question is, will Dog count as European or North American?
Yeah.
I think as it is now, if they have 3 Euros, that's EU.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the North American qualifier is also really wide open. Who knows? Maybe Fire 2.0. Fire 2.0.
Yes, Fluff and Mike.
Yeah, Fluff and Mike.
What's the name of the team they started? I can't remember. I read it.
Snaw?
Snaw.
Sneaky Nyx Assassins.
Yeah, that's it. Sneaky Nyx Assassins. Here's something I've been kind of mulling over. Like, in StarCraft, you saw this happen for like their big qualifiers for their big event. You think there'll come a time where teams start looking at this, like a Dog, for example, and they go, Europe's going to be tough. North America, not so much, and then they just literally...
I don't know why they haven't.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
I think
rent a house for a month.
Yeah.
Rent for any other tournament. Like if you had to do
I think the opportunity was there for them to get 3 American teams. Mm-hmm. I mean, not 3 American teams. Yeah, 3 American players and be counted as North American. But
but how do you decide these things? Is it pure geography, or is it like? Certainly you're not going to be like, well, their heritage, they were born in X
It's geography. It's going to be I think it's going to be geography.
So
I think if you don't count Dog as North American, I'll say Revenge.
Okay. And I'm fine with that. To be honest, I think it's more intriguing to think about this, like in terms of teams who are good, but maybe not good enough to make that cutoff. Like, take a Virtus Pro, for example, okay? Like, not a terrible team by any stretch, but let's be, like, as of right now, looking a little wonky. Or a team like that you don't think is going to get, why? Chances are these teams are going to boot camp for a month anyway, at least. So why don't you just invest the extra money and go, we're going to boot camp in North America and do our qualifier?
No, I don't think... Oh, God, that's so...
But how do you...
That's so seedy.
There's precedent for it. It is seedy, but...
No.
But how do you decide it? Like, that's the thing.
I think it's where they've been for most of their time playing all these tournaments.
Well, but like, how do you say no to them if they just go, we're now moved to North America?
You just say no to them.
What
are they going to do? Sue Valve? Valve is going to be like,
All right, guys. Looks like, it's 20 after. I think we've made up for the time we were late. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed our maiden voyage here. Certainly we've learned a lot. We'll work out better methods for things in the future. I'm AC. Next to me, of course, once again.
I'm Charlie.
You're Charlie. You're
Charlie.
Charlie. He's Charlie. You can follow us both on Twitter. I'm at AC at AYESEE. What's yours?
At Monolith Dota.
Monolith Dota. Make sure you flame him. Flame him. And every morning I want all of you to tweet him and tell him to be less of a grump. You're so grumpy. You're just so grumpy. Like, look at even the way you're looking at me now.
How can you blame me? Look at who I have to work with.
Yes, you did spend all night with Conrad. So.
You did end up looking at me when you said that.
I hate you.
This has been reported as they continue to fight it out. This has been reported, a D2L production. We'll be back next week, next Thursday at the same time, preferably 15 minutes earlier. Because, hopefully I don't get screwed by public transit again. Again, AC, Charlie, and of course Conrad, the other voice you've been hearing, our production guy. It's been a pleasure, guys. We don't have like a Twitter or Facebook setup for the show or anything, do we? Yeah, we are totally just winging it. You basically just watched our pilot episode, so. Give us feedback. Tweet it at us. Let us know what we can do better, what you'd like to see done different. And continue to enjoy some Dota. Fragbite's going on, DreamHack, Dream League, I should say, and Starladder. Go check those streams out. Till then, take it easy, guys. We'll see you next week.